Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to your official MSSADA podcast, chock filled with information and hot topics. Your host, the president, Mr. Keith Mangan, and myself, first vice president, Matt Trahan. Keith, how you doing?
I am living the dream right now, Matt. Thanks again. This is a highlight of the week here. The build up here for this event. This is always a good time.
I appreciate you saying, you're living the dream because it's the two of us together, because that could have gone sideways. But I'm happy it's I'm happy it's a dream.
Well, I didn't say whose dream it was. So
well, listen, before we get going, I'd like to just, a quick advertisement. If you're an athletic director and you wish to better yourself, gain knowledge, and improve professionally, be sure to register for a conference in March 29th to April 1st in Hyannis. We are in person this year.
Yes, it's going to be great. I'm really looking forward. I've been getting a lot of phone calls from people asking, what's happening? Are we good to go? Like a lot of ADs we missed. We missed out 2 years ago. We had the virtual conference last year. I was on a call yesterday with the presidents from around the country, and one of the things we talked, what's new? And I said, we got people who are itching to get back and to do that in-person learning and to be able to spend some time with their colleagues as well. Which is such an important part of our conference.
I think it's much needed. I always find a value in spending time with others, and we've talked about it on this podcast. Just collection of great ideas, and then to give you an example, you gave me a great idea about working with the interns, and then from there, we've got a fellow colleague I filtered it down from me, and now he's doing it. So there's a lot of value to just having conversations and picking people's brains. There's so much to do down there too.
Absolutely. And you know what? Now those things and what you just said, I just saw his post on Twitter. Andy's down at Dartmouth, and I saw that out there. And the thing he put out, we had a little chat about that, and he reached out to me and asked me how we got that started. So again, that's the whole purpose of it. It's not stealing anyone's ideas. It's working together and to figure out ways that work best. And there's no need to reinvent the wheel, which we've talked about over and over again.
Right. Well, he's a new Gipper user too, so he's got Gipper now. Yes. So that content, he's got to push that content out, and I know he's dying to use it. So
making sure he's getting his money's worth too. So that's good. I just re-upped my subscription for next year. It's a great product, and I love working with it.
Yeah, no, they're great, and it's funny, to tie things together. They will be down at the conference. They've been a great partner, and they've worked well with us. I think it's a quality product. I love the fact that you can. Do it in the here and now, connect it to multiple platforms, but you can also schedule it if you want it to go out at a later date. So, they really thought of everything.
Well, especially, with our job, there's so many things pop up, and you might have all the best intentions. Just like today, I started working to put some stuff out today. I have almost all my teams competing today, and they're all on the road. So I wanted to sit and get all that stuff. So I literally started. Yes, you know what that means.
Whoa. Does that mean Mr. Mangan's getting a little break?
Mr. Mangan's getting a little break, and Mr. Mangan's going to get a chance to be a dad today and go watch his son play, which is, we talk about that balance, and that's an important thing to be able to do.
Fantastic. That's wonderful. You love days like that because you can actually just think about your own situation, your own family, and not have to worry. That's great. Good for you.
Yeah, and we'll spend some time watching him play today, and we'll spend some time tomorrow shoveling snow. So that'll be a great time.
Well, speaking of shoveling snow, I hate to report, but I've got a snowblower that is roughly 2 years old, and I'm fighting it tooth and nail. For some reason, it just won't start. So, of course, the biggest snowstorm of the year to date, I'll be taking some leave because my back will be screaming for mercy. So
that's funny that you say that. So we bought one. Geez, it's got to be about 10 years old now. An old Sears Craftsman one that I've had it worked on and fixed, and it's got one of those electric starts to it.
Same.
But it comes apart a little bit now, so now I actually have to hold the ignition in while I'm pushing the button and at the right angle, but eventually it starts. And last night we put in a connection for a generator just in case. A year and a half ago, my wife and I did.
Beautiful.
And of course, we haven't had to use it once since then. So last night I was out, made sure that started, and got my gas ready to go. And we're all ready to set. And I'm sure, we'll probably get, I don't know, wishful thinking, no snow, but it's coming. It's coming.
I was going to ask you, in your neck of the woods, what are you projected?
Right now, it depends on the moment and depends on the weather app. Right now, they're saying anywhere like 15 to 23 inches right now.
Yeah.
And that'll be, throughout, I think, starting around midnight tonight. But like for us, we have all our games today. We're supposed to have 2 hockey games tomorrow. Those have already been postponed. And we actually just postponed our basketball practices for Sunday morning, just because by the time they get up to do the school, the town gets up here. I don't want them rushing up, people being out in the roads if they don't need to be, and that's the important thing,
I'm looking at the same thing, Keith. For the weekend, the weekend is just shut it down. You know what I mean? There's no sense of people traveling. They're all going to have a tough time getting out of their own properties and whatnot. So
absolutely, So my wife and I will continue. We're in the middle of Yellowstone right now, so we'll continue watching that and get caught up on there a little bit. I'm a hardcore binger, and she can't sit and watch that much TV at once. So probably because it's easier for me to sit down than it is for her. So.
Maybe that's why we get along so good, because I binge watch a show. I won't tell you what it is because you may laugh, but I did get through. No, that's okay. We went through 6 seasons of it. I was hooked. I was surprised that I was hooked. And you know what? I'm done with it. So I'm looking for something new.
Lay it on me here. I love everything. So come on.
It was Downton Abbey.
Good. That's in the queue right now. That's our next one.
Listen,
so I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
Excellent. It was very, very, very good. And I was shocked because I don't typically watch that type of television, but it was very good. And I enjoyed it. And, again, I'm now looking for something because Blue Bloods only comes on Friday nights. So.
Right. Well, see, and I have a bunch of regular shows that I try and watch that I put on the DVR and I'll watch. And then, and I like a lot of, turn your brain off TV as well. You don't have to. But this, when we started watching Yellowstone, is something that my wife and I can watch together. You know what I mean, which is important too, and it's interesting. If you haven't caught it yet, it's definitely some. And it's not something we watch with our kids, but it's definitely something that it's a good one. Yeah,
I heard it gets great reviews, so I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, I like it so far.
I want to flip back. I want to talk to you a little bit more about the conference, right? So there's for people who don't know, there's a ton of work going on behind the scenes by. Our group, the MSSADA group, there's a ton of work going on by yourself. I'm involved, our executive board. I really do feel like we've got a quality program. I'm really looking forward to having the opportunity to be back in person.
Absolutely.
And for us, I mean, quite frankly, it would be nice to have decent weather down there. It doesn't really matter. Just being in person at this point, I think is the priority. Super excited to get back at it and really honor our colleagues. So should be great.
Listen, and Matt, don't cut yourself short there. And it's good to not put yourself out there. But your job this year as the first vice president is really basically scheduling the conference. Yeah. So the work that's been done that you've done and I'm looking at our schedule right now on my other screen here, and there's going to be some great stuff between the LTI classes, some different presenters that just recently started work with us and some that have never worked with us before. All the different concurrent sessions, the banquet, the luncheon, the award ceremonies, all such a great part, and to be able to be there and to to celebrate our peers and the work that they've done. Right. Always tough decisions to figure out those awards too, especially up in our district. And I'm sure it's the same for you and everywhere around the state, around the state. So, but really looking forward to getting down there. I said to my wife, I'm heading down Monday night. Yeah. Because my role, I need to be there. And she rolls her eyes and says, yeah. I know you're going down. I'm like, no, I'm there learning the whole time. So that's very, very important. So
it's so funny you say that, because the same conversation happens in the Trahan household, because every now and then there's a slip, and it's referred to not as a conference, it's referred to as a vacation. And I say, no, there is no vacation. I might be sleeping in a different bed, but that's no vacation.
Correct.
There's a lot of learning going on there. And, I think, if you're doing this job, you want to gain that knowledge as to what's coming down the road, what's happening in the here and now. And I think that this conference provides that for people. Kara's doing a wonderful job. She's provided so many different LTI courses. And quite frankly, I'm chasing your tail, looking at my CMAA as well.
Yep.
But through our conference, if you're a new AD or you've been around for a little bit, there's so many courses that you can take that will help you achieve that right there in March. So, it's exciting. It's exciting to be back and, get together with some old friends too. So,
and you know what, and without a doubt. And, along with Kara, you have Mike, who's our Mike Denise, who's out of Blackstone, who's our conference coordinator, and, working all the behind the scenes stuff with the hotel and the vendors and setting all that stuff up. So, the registration just went out. I know a lot of people jumping down and booking their hotel rooms. Yep. The district suites will be back this year. But it's important. They've done a lot of work on the hotel. We haven't been there. This will be 3 years away.
Yep.
So very much looking forward to getting down there and doing our thing. And
Yeah.
What's better than learning from your peers?
Yeah.
And people who are, instead of a theoretical thing, people that are trying stuff in the midst of things, and be able to take that stuff and then try to apply it to what works best for you.
What's going to be fantastic, and I think will be the highlight of the week, will be that the MSSADA podcast will be going live from Hyannis.
And I'm looking forward to
listen, there's so many directions this thing could go. I mean, people walking by, special guests, you name it. I mean, we're going to have it right then and there.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that. I like the element of surprise, but I also I like what I like too. So, I think it's going to be great.
Yeah, no, we'll do a couple pop-up ones throughout the week. We'll do a more formal one, but it's we can have a lot of fun with it, and I think we will. You know what I mean? It'd be good to, and I can't stress enough, seeing all the different people that we can't always do, but
how does that go from SNL with two wild and crazy guys?
that's the real good SNL. All the good stuff's good, but
the old stuff's great.
Steve Martin is he's it. As far as I'm concerned, but
absolutely.
So listen, not to swear away from the conference here, but let's chat a little bit about how your winter season's going so far. I know that you're in a different situation, coaching and being an AD, as well as your other stuff you have going on. So how's that balance going? How's the team looking this year? And what are some of those challenges you're facing?
So it's funny you bring that up. So I don't know if I look tired, but I am. That being said, I feel that we've, as ADs, done is the best that we possibly can, providing for our coaches and kids for an extended period of time. Now, having sat in the coach's seat, I feel even more for our coaches, because it's not easy. No. You've got the day to day. You've got unfortunately, you've got student athletes that come and go. So, I mean, in my situation, we've had a few kids that have been out for a week or two and popped back in, and so continuity isn't typical. And again, you know what, in any sport there's injury. You can call it an injury and kids go out and come back, but with this, with COVID, it's been somewhat of a revolving door. Our teams are doing the very best they can. Our girls team's doing well. For us, we're sub 500. I think that we're on the rise, but I think that we've lost a couple close games that could have been decided by a few different things. But certainly enjoy being around the kids and being back at it. The mask thing, listen, it's got to go soon. Hopefully sooner than later, but the spring's almost upon us. It's just great to be back with the kids, regardless of the record. It's great to be able to set that groundwork, get them going again, and rebuild that foundation. We didn't play last year, Keith. We didn't have a season in the winter, so unfortunately, here at the school, we're playing a little bit of catch up. So it is what it is, but it's all positive.
Yeah, and that's the thing, that it's people want to get back to normal as quickly as possible, but it's a process, and we're all doing the best we can based on the guidelines set forth by the state, set forth by DESE, that are by individual school systems, by the MIAA, and we're trying to just figure out what works best for us. Within our league, we have some schools that have no fans, some that have a couple, and like for us, we didn't have put any restrictions on fans whatsoever. That as long as people are being respectful and wearing a mask, we're good to go.
Same here.
If they're not, then we have that conversation, and then if we haven't had to ask anyone to leave yet, but that would be a possibility, but don't want to have to do that. So it's I put a box of masks out at the ticket table and just say, look, sorry you forgot one. Don't go out to your car. It's too cold out. Take one of these. You know what I mean? I brought, pulling up to my son's game the other night, his hockey game the other night, and someone said, "Oh, you have any extra masks on you?" So the home team, I just came in and dropped the thing off. They're like, "Oh, that's very nice of you." I said, "Little donation. I'll send the invoice along later. Don't worry about it. We're having a little fun." And, but as you said, it's trying to do the best we can. With the constant challenges, some stuff that we can control, but a lot that we can't control. So it's just really just kind of doing what we feel is best for our kids, and trying to make that stuff work.
And not to sound like either one of us are complaining by any stretch of the imagination. The job itself takes its toll on you mentally and physically. But when you throw this wild card variable in, I have to say, I like to consider myself a young man, but definitely feel like I've aged a little bit in the last 2 years. And I'm sure, the teachers in our building feel the same way.
Yep. Absolutely.
It's been a struggle, and I think we're all craving for some normalcy. And I really, on a positive note, in the glass half full, I feel as though it's right around the corner. It has to be.
Well, it's got to be. Personally, I think what's going to happen is going to end up being something like, like the flu is.
Yes.
You get your flu shot every year.
Yep.
If you get your flu shot and you get the flu, it's not as bad. And it's going. I think it's going to be something like that. I had COVID like right after the first of the year, and so I had an extended break. For me, it was mostly a head cold. Different people, different things. I'm fully vaccinated. I actually got my booster back in August. So a long time ago when they first started putting the booster out. So, but it's, for me, it felt like it was a bad head cold. You know what I mean? So I think that's what we're going to get to. Personally, I'd love to see if if people want to wear masks, make it an optional thing.
Yes.
But either or, it's definitely hard. And the challenges of the kids wearing masks in games and stuff like that. And once the game starts, it's up to the officials to do it and stuff like that. And different people handle that differently. And sometimes I feel like it's a losing battle. You know what I mean? So it's, just we do the best we can, and we have things that are put in place, and we do what we're supposed to do, and hopefully people are respectful of that. And I know some people are very much don't want to do that stuff, but if you're going to come into the school or be part of that, we need you to be respectful. Absolutely.
And again, I say it's on the horizon. I mean, the spring is coming. The good weather's coming. Our sports outside, if it trends like it did last year, there's no reason to wear a mask. The summer will be here. Let's hit the reset button, people, and let's get back at it in September. So
absolutely.
That's my thought.
We didn't do it outside in the fall, so there's no reason we should be doing. We'll be doing it out in the spring. So
correct.
But everything's changing now. I'm sure you saw last week with the governor putting some different things out. Excuse me. So that's all. I got to think that in the coming weeks we're going to see a lot of changes coming.
Right. Oh, I agree. Yep. But you know what? Hey, we're here to tell the story, right? So
absolutely.
Which is a good thing.
So who's Old Colony got in hoop tonight?
We're playing the South Shore Volk Vikings. Big league matchup for us. Always a competitive game.
Yeah.
We've jockeyed back and forth over the years between league championships and vocational championships.
Yep.
And again, my team hadn't played last year, so I'm hoping that we're up for the challenge tonight. We had a great practice last night. Our girls team, they beat them earlier in the season, but they got some bigs. They got some, they got some girls that can play, and they're a little taller than the average bear. So we'll see. It's going to be a great matchup. How about you?
You guys running a little man D tonight? A little zone? Or is that top secret?
I listen. You can't hide anything anymore because all you got to do is tune in, and it's live streamed, through the network. So if you want to watch, you can see.
Well, since my games are on the road tonight, maybe I'll try and jump on and we'll check.
No, you're watching Yellowstone. I know better than that.
That's great.
Good stuff.
Great. Awesome.
Good stuff. Yeah, no, listen, I'm excited too. It's we're set up potentially for a long weekend, right? So, and the reason why I say that, Keith, is my school, we're out in God's country that was surrounded by trees, right? So, when they're talking about winds of like 60 plus, I mean, a firm breeze blows out power here. So, who knows what's going to happen?
And with those winds and with the snow and to get to that, I just got the blizzard warning a little bit ago, and it's with those winds, it's 13 to 25 inches, but ends up being sometimes like 3 feet or something like that.
Right.
So,
well, this is what I keep saying to folks. We're set up for 24 to 30 inches of snow, and I go, that's a lot. Okay, but if they get it wrong, and we get 12 inches, that's still a lot.
Yeah, it's still
no matter what, it's going to be a lot of snow.
Yeah, I don't think although they can be wrong from time to time, that would be to not get any snow would be a huge change. So it looks like it's coming whether we like it or not.
I can't see that happening. Can't see that. Yeah, it would definitely. And you know what? The funny thing is as you and I know you got kids too. I got I got a couple younger. My boys are young. And they're just dying. They're dying for the snow to go sledding and this, that. And I'm like, sounds like fun, guys. Let me know when you get back in the house.
Yeah, right.
I don't want to be out there all day.
Take the shovel with you. Yeah. So as I said, we got the generator ready. We got the snowblower ready. I got the roof rake ready. to pull the snow off the top of the house or something. I do. I live in a ranch, so it's it's not like I'm up on a ladder or anything like that. But just to make sure to, we had a little issue a couple of years ago with some ice dams and stuff like that. So I'm not, not going to deal with that again.
The things we go through in New England, huh?
Oh yeah.
Just nowhere else.
And I can't remember if we have any animals in the Trahan house, but for us, I'll actually do a loop around the backyard as well, so the dogs can get out and run around and get some exercise as well. So
that's a long story that we don't have time for today.
Okay.
We do have a puppy, and it's
How old's the puppy?
The puppy now is about 14 weeks old.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we got a second COVID puppy. So we have my second dog, which was supposed to be, I have a black lab mix, but she's about 55, 60 pounds. Great. She's 7 or 8 years old. She's perfect. She's like a cat.
Yeah.
But we got another dog. Not best laid plans, as they say. It was supposed to be a 30 to 40 pound border collie mix last February. So he's just over a year now. He's now 75 pounds of black and tan coonhound and is a big boy. And
wow.
Very much looking forward to him calming down soon. You better.
Well, we've got a little 8-pound Havapoo, which you would think wouldn't really wreak much havoc, but when you redo your kitchen a year ago and now they're chewing on cabinets, that's a problem for me.
Yeah,
I could see that. I could see that. Thankfully you weren't with me yesterday. You would have seen my head explode.
Yeah.
So, it is what it is.
I'm sure we have some of those similar reactions in our houses, Matthew, as well. Absolutely.
Take it in stride, right? Take it in stride.
Yep.
So we're giving all of our friends and colleagues a view of the trials and tribulations that Matt and Keith go through. For those of you out there who have similar experiences or just want to vent a little bit, feel free to comment. Send us a direct. Hey, we're here for you. The MSSADA podcast is here for you.
Absolutely.
That being said, Keith, I want to get you on your merry way. I know you want to get out of here. I know that you have things to do. You're going to go see your son. You have a great afternoon planned. But before we let you go, I want to remind folks one last time. It was nice enough for Tanya Rich to send it out to everybody, but want to remind you, if you are an AD and you wish to better yourself, gain knowledge, and improve professionally, be sure to register for our upcoming MSSADA conference, chock full of LTI courses, concurrent sessions, and so much more this March 29th through April 1st.
Absolutely. You know what? And we've talked about it already, and people who've been around know what a great conference it is. And for those people who've already paid their dues, it's a free conference.
Yes.
And there's no registration fee. The tickets for the luncheon and to the Thursday night banquet are all included, unless you bring a guest, and that's a little different. But it's a great experience, and we're looking forward to seeing everyone down in Hyannis in the end of March.
Absolutely. I want to wish you well. Enjoy the day.
Too. Good luck tonight.
You deserve it, my friend.
All right, buddy. Take care.
All right, you too.
We'll talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.